Philip to Evelyn, 21 November 1944. My darling, arrived back in camp about midnight. This morning, back to the old grind. My work, thanks to Stahl and Murphy, is pretty well under control. So much so, in fact, that I had very little to do today. Naturally, the first thing I looked for when I came into work this morning was my mail. Alas, it had been held up again. In all the time I was away, I received only your V-mail of 11 November and Lil's package of foodstuffs. I'm not complaining, sweet, but I had rather hoped to find at least 3 or 4 letters awaiting me. Today, although there was plenty of mail for the company as a whole, there was not even one letter for me. Oh well, tomorrow is another day. Not another mailless one, I hope. Lil's package is a very welcome one because it contains delicacies which I haven't tasted these past 15 months in the UK. The contents, which are still intact, are as follows: a can of tuna, a tin of anchovies, a bottle of mayonnaise, condensed milk, Nestle's instant chocolate, can of pineapple, and a large box of Cheez-It. Some night when the weather is bad and the fellows don't feel like pedaling or walking down to the mess hall, we'll make a feast on the stuff Lil was good enough to send along. Until I am able to write to her, tell her that I thank her, and my hutmates thank her. Her page 2 gift is most apropos and very much appreciated. As a matter of fact, I have almost forgiven her for refusing to write for so long, but not quite. Your V-mail was written while you and Mom and Goldie were waiting for Nat to pick you up to take you to the party in honor of my newest cousin, Vicky Paula Blank. May her years be many and happy. This is the first word I have had about this particular blessed event. I'm awaiting the details. Please convey my congratulations to Etta and Nat, sweet. I don't have their address. This letter also informed me of Mickey's indisposition. I hope that she is well recovered by the time this reaches you. Thanks a million, honey, for the detailed description of how you looked, your costume, etc. on that particular night. I wish you would remember to write about yourself more often. You seem to forget, baby, that you are by far the most interesting subject I know. You mention a gray and white checkered lumberjack dress. Is it a new one, Chippy? And what is a lumberjack dress, please? You quote some of Adele's most recent utterances, and they're all cute, but one in particular intrigues me. The one in which she says, in part, Mommy wants you. Just how, Chippy, does the pumpkin know that? Speaking of Adele reminds me, Ev, that I meant to send page 3 off her birthday gift today, together with a letter to her, but I'm afraid it will have to wait till tomorrow, because Red was too busy to work on it this past week and is just finishing it. He has promised to have it ready tomorrow. Until tomorrow then, sweetheart, I'll bid you my fondest adieu, and my fondest adieu consists of a long, lingering kiss, a close embrace, and a whispered I love you, my Evie. My dearest love to Adele, your daughter and mine, and my love to all, constantly. How could I have never thought of that before? Your Phil. Evelyn to Philip, V-mail dated November 22nd, 1944. Sweetheart, I thought sure that there would be some mail for me today, but I was disappointed again. We won't discuss the mail situation tonight, or the paper might burn. I neglected to tell you that I had mailed off the can of chocolate chip cookies I had ready for you, and hope they taste as well when you receive them as they did when I tasted them. I called Etta last night to find out how she's been coming along. She has a nurse staying with her who takes full charge of everything, and Etta is still taking it very easy. The baby is gaining nicely, and that's most important. We had a letter from Gloria, and she intends to visit us shortly. She wanted to come on Adele's birthday, but that will be impossible. I wrote her last night and told her to come regardless. Last night, too, Mom, Goldie, and I wrote to Jack. I told Jack and Mom that Jack should be flattered that his family writes to him so often, because they certainly do not write to you. Just as a matter of record, exactly how many letters have you received from Goldie since you went overseas? I'm sure it is only 1 or 2 at the most, and I can't help getting aggravated when everyone keeps complaining that we don't write to Jack enough. Even Gloria wants to know why I'm the only one who knows how to write. Oh well, it's all in a lifetime, and 100 years from now, who'll know the difference? I stayed up late last night since I wrote to you. Jack and Glo, washed, showered, etc. I started to type the above at work, so you can imagine how surprised I was upon arriving home to find 3 letters for me, 2 from you and 1 from Jack Nierenberg. The 2 from you were dated November 1st and 2nd and contained the snaps. No, I don't think you look particularly well in either, but that's not important. Long as I can gaze upon your well-loved features, it's okay with me. I can't remember what kind or number of film you want, so enlighten me, dear one, and I shall send along some film. I'm glad you finally received the bottles and nipples, and I am most anxious to learn whether they were okay. If you recall, there were a few things for you in the package, and I hope you unpacked it before giving it to Evelyn. Jack said nothing at all, but asked for the letter, which I neglected to forward. I shall get a letter off to him tomorrow. We had a letter from the Valley Forge Hospital today informing us that Eddie was there. There was a few sheets of questions stapled together which have to be answered concerning Eddie's life history in the letter. Evidently, Eddie isn't as well off as I hoped he was. He asked us not to visit him, but if we don't hear from him shortly again, we shall visit him anyway. Room enough, I see, to send along my love to my beloved, your Ev. Philip to Evelyn, 22nd November 1944. Dearest Ev, just returned from the Base Theater where I saw Humphrey Bogart, Peter Lorre, and others in Passage to Marseille. It was a disjointed sort of film, mainly because it made free use of the flashback. However, it was a fast-moving, interesting yarn, in spite of the kaleidoscopic impression one caught watching it. I was kept pretty busy today, but I am pretty well caught up with my work for a change. I hope to keep it that way. There was nothing at all in the mail for me today, which makes it a sum total of 1 V-mail and 1 package in the last 8 days. I'm looking to hit the jackpot any day now. Red didn't get a chance to work on that trinket for the pumpkin, but it requires only the finishing touches, so I am almost positive I'll be able to mail it off tomorrow. I'm really at a loss for words tonight, darling, so you'll have to forgive me the brevity of this particular letter. I'll try to do better tomorrow. Hasta mañana then, baby. I leave you with all my love. 2 kisses for Adele, 1 for each of her 2 years. My love to all, your adoring hubby, Phil. P.S. Enclosed is a souvenir of my meeting with Limey. I've been holding it back to show the boys. Note, 1 franc equals 2 cents.